Hello my lovely YouTubers! So in this video I'm just going to do a quick update on my plants that are either in bloom or in spike, except for one of my orchids. And that is my Gigantea Jeanette, because I am so excited. It has literally done nothing for almost 5 months maybe. I think I purchased one in December, so almost a year. But it is just now, after purchasing it in December, growing a new leaf. So Gigantea grows extremely slow. I'm not expecting this one to flower anytime soon, but I'm very, very excited that it has decided to grow a new leaf, because I honestly thought it was dead. Okay, so back to my first bloom seedling. This is Phalaenopsis borneensis by Sibling. So there we go. This is a first bloom seedling from Kawamoto Orchids. So the different siblings should all look slightly different. This is a species though, not a hybrid. But I just love the striping on the petals. So pretty. And then the lip is like a stark white. Now, unlike most Phalaenopsis species, I haven't noticed this one to be fragrant at all. So I'm a little disappointed in that, because most Phalaenopsis species are fragrant. I don't know if maybe I have to wait a few more days because this one just recently opened. It's been about a day since this one opened, but I'm really hoping that it decides to put out a fragrance. I have no idea if it's supposed to be fragrant. I haven't actually looked it up, but hopefully this one decides to be fragrant. It is a sequential bloomer, so you can see a bud forming right there. So that is one of the, I guess, bonus features to this orchid, even if it's not fragrant. And it is still very, very pretty, so maybe I can live with it not being fragrant. Now, this orchid right here, I actually forgot to include it in the haul that I got from my local orchid auction. It was in the house, and because my house is much cooler than it is out here, you're starting to see some bud blast. So the petals are starting to curl, and the flowers probably aren't going to last as long. And this one actually came all the way from Hawaii. You can probably still see the little fuzzies from the packing material. So I'm not expecting the blooms to last very long at all anyways, but I just had to pick this one up because I've seen it in a few other orchid videos and I thought it was very, very beautiful. This is Brassell Cattleya, I believe. Let me see here. Yeah, Brassell Cattleya, Little Mermaid, and the clonal name is Janet. Very, very beautiful orchid. I think I'm going to mount this one. I've sort of picked up a slogan for any of the orchids that look very slender with their leaves, and decided that any of them that have the slender leaves are going to get mounted because they just seem to appreciate that more. So this one right here, really, really pretty. I love the spotting in the lip. I just think it is a super pretty orchid. I haven't noticed this fragrance off of this one, but again, it came all the way from Hawaii, so I don't know if it is fragrant and I'm just not smelling it because it has been through so much. But it's a really healthy orchid. Look at all of those pseudobulbs. Very, very healthy. Definitely needs a repot though, because it's starting to look a little crusty with algae there. Next one of my orchids in spike. This one I am so excited about because it was supposed to bloom earlier this year, and I set my orchids outside, and unfortunately slugs got to the spike on this one. This is Catasetum Sheriff Frank Drew. It's supposed to have darker colored flowers, and as you can see, they are male, so the lower light has been working for these orchids, giving me male blooms. So this one right here should bloom, I'm guessing, probably another month before those buds open. So hopefully I'll be here when they decide to open, because I haven't seen this one bloom yet. Next one is another Catasetum orchid. You guys have already seen this one in bloom, and I'm honestly not very impressed with the spike this year. This is Catasetum sanguineum by Catasetum Susan Fuchs Burgundy Chips, and it does have a very, very lovely tall spike. as you can see right there, but a lot of the buds seem to be shrinking and or blasting, so I'm not sure how many I'm actually going to get from this orchid. The pseudobulb on it is super healthy. Look how fat it is. It's way bigger than all of the other previous growths, so that's good enough for me. I want it to be healthy. I really don't mind if it doesn't produce a healthy bloom spike, because I'm not looking to breed this one. At least for now, I'm not looking to breed it. It's just, it might put out another spike. Last year it did. It put out 2 spikes on the successive growth, so hopefully after this spike is done, it'll put out another spike, but I'm not holding my breath. Next one, again, a Catasetum. This is Catasetum Jumbo Longan, and you can see the spike right there hanging down, and the ants are just loving that guy. I'm not sure how many buds this one has. Let me actually count them. Okay, so this one actually has 10 buds on there. If you guys want to go ahead and count them, you're more than welcome. Again, male blooms from the lower light levels, so that is really exciting. I think I have found the key to producing male blooms. And another Catasetum orchid is in spike. This one I can't take any credit for. I got this one in a trade. I traded with the president of my local society, and you can see all of the ants, again, loving all of that happy sap. This is Catasetum Bella Vista's Sangria, Jamie's Purple Passion by Catasetum pileatum, Variation Imperial, SVO Blood Red. So Purple Passion and Blood, that tells me this one should be a dark hybrid. We shall see though. Who knows? But we've got a lot of nice male buds forming here on the spike. Another one in spike, and I'm trying to show you guys as best as I can because I can't really reach this orchid very well. This is Catasetum Lavena, and it bloomed earlier, just like maybe a month ago, and it is already putting out another spike, as you can see right there. Should be a male should be a male spike, just because it has the pointed tip right there. Females will be more rounded. And you guys have already seen this one in bloom, so I won't go into too much detail about this orchid. Next one I have in bloom, this one has actually been in bloom for a few days now, and the blooms do not last very long at all. This is Bulbophyllum Daisy Chain. Actually, I think it has been changed to Suripedalum Daisy Chain, but they produce these umbrella-type blooms right here, and they only last for a few days before disintegrating and falling off. That's the shame with Bulbophyllums. Their blooms don't last very long. But it is a very healthy orchid, and the nice thing about Bulbophyllums is that they usually produce multiple spikes. So as you can see, this one is still intact, but then we have this dead spike right here, and it is a very healthy orchid. Has a new growth right here and 2 new growths, one right there and one right there. It is only a 3-lead division though, and is blooming. That's crazy. So definitely, if you want a vigorous grower, get yourself a Suripedalum Daisy Chain. Next orchid in spike that we have here, this is a very complex hybrid, and you don't often see them in cultivation. This is a Cattleya Chantilly Lace Twinkle, and like I said, you just don't often see these guys in cultivation. So here are all the buds, and I'm sorry about all the chirping. There is a male cardinal, and he's very upset at me for being so close to his food supply. But anyways, this one has 5 buds on it, and what happens is they actually change color. They open to be a purplish pink, and then they fade over time to be a more neutral whitish color. Next one in spike here, this is a Tendril Caelum, what is this, Bicolosum, I believe, and it's supposed to have orange flowers, and I think they are opening right here, but they don't look very orange to me, and it could be because this isn't their normal blooming time. I got this one from Wade's Orchids, and Wade also has a channel. You should follow him on YouTube if you are just tuning into my channel. But yeah, this is Bicolosum, and it only has 1 spike. But I'm very excited. I wasn't expecting a spike on this little guy, but I think it's just the coolest little bloom. I've been wanting a Tendril Caelum Wenzellii, and when I saw the Bulbophyllum with its orange flowers, I knew that I had to have it. So if you like orange and you like Tendril Caelums, then get yourself a Bulbophyllum. This one is still hanging on to its blooms, although they are very, very faded. This is my Cattleya nobilior. So there we go, there's the tag for that one. And it is a cerulean, but as you can see, you probably can't tell it's a cerulean because they are fading. But I'm very, very excited because I have big plans for this one in my breeding inventory. I just plan a lot of excellent crosses with this one, so I'm happy that it's doing well for me, because nobilior is one of those species that is said to be difficult to grow. We'll see how I do. I haven't even owned this one for a year yet, but I did get it to bloom, so I guess that's a plus. Who knows, maybe it'll die, I don't know, but I will enjoy the blooms while they last. Very, very fragrant. I love this orchid. Guys, look at this giant Carolina Anole on my Nepenthes. He matches that bright chartreuse green foliage. He's huge. I bet he's looking for bugs. Oh, he's so cute and clumsy. I just love these guys. They climb all over my plants, and I get a lot of people that ask me why I don't use pesticides to get rid of bugs instantly. Well, here is the, I guess, the reason why I don't use any pesticides on my orchids, because of these guys. Don't want to hurt them. Isn't that right, little guy? Yeah. Next orchid that I have in spike for you guys. This is so exciting. Okay, this is my Angraecum eburnum, and if you look right there is a spike. Oh, I'm so excited. This one is ginormous. If you look at it in comparison to my hand, it is just a massive, massive orchid. And they produce huge spikes, and Angraecums usually produce white or green flowers, and they are highly fragrant at night. You might have heard of a Angraecum, the Angraecum sesquipedale, which is the Darwin's orchid. This is not the Darwin's orchid, but it's in the same genus. Angraecum eburnum typically grows very, very, very large. But I'm really excited for this one to bloom because it's just been growing like crazy this year. I have a few other Angraecums, but none of them have really done well for me. This is the only one that's done really, really well. And I'll show you a couple of my other Angraecums. So this is Angraecum, what is this, Magdalenae. And as you can see, it's got a lot of care tips there. It's supposed to bloom white. And it's, I guess, a summer-fall bloomer and intermediate to warm temperatures, which it probably doesn't like the extremely hot temperatures we've been getting lately, but there's really nothing I can do about that. I've just been trying to keep it very, very moist. It seems to like lots and lots of moisture while it is growing, which I never was giving it prior, so maybe that was the mistake I made last year, because it didn't bloom last year, but it's done really, really well this year with me keeping it moist, so maybe that was the missing link. But it's produced a ton of offshoots, as you can see right there, and then some here on the back, but it hasn't bloomed for me, so I'm hoping that it will bloom this year. Fingers crossed, I'm not sure. But this is supposed to be the queen of the Angraecums. Another orchid that is in spike is my Schomburg Iya, what is this? Thomsonianum aureum from the Cayman Islands. And as you can see, it's produced this, oh, where is it? There it is. This new growth here that's decided to curve around the back. Every growth has been, you know, well behaved and stayed relatively in the front, and this one just decided to curve around the back, so good job. But I don't care. He can do whatever he wants because he is in spike, and I don't think you guys can see it just yet, but in there is a little nubbin. I'll try to get a better view for you guys. Maybe you can see that right there. But that is a spike forming. Right here we have my very pathetic Miltassia Charles M. Fitch Azumi, and I say pathetic because this one has always looked very, very shriveled and just very, very ugly. I must be doing something right though, because right in there, if you guys can see, is a little spike forming. I'm very, very excited. I have seen this orchid bloom once before and the show was less than optimal. I think it put out 3 blooms, I'm not sure. You can go back and see the video that I did of Charles M. Fitch Azumi, but there in that little crevice is a bloom spike. So hopefully it'll be a better show than last year's. Now, I take no credit for blooming this one. I just had to purchase this one. It was so incredibly beautiful, still is beautiful, and it's highly fragrant. This is my newest addition, Brassell Leila Cattleya Pisgah King, and it is so, so pretty. This is almost like an egg yolk kind of color, and then you have this rose pink. It's just absolutely beautiful, and I think it'll be even better with fresh blooms. These ones are actually a few weeks old. As you can see along the petals, there is some browning, so that tells me that it's been in bloom for a while. So I will hopefully be able to show you some fresh blooms given a few months time and allow this one to form a new lead. Now this one I can take credit for because it's dying. I have no idea what happened here, but I'm so sad because I thought this one was doing really, really well. It formed these new blooms and was opening them, and they only lasted for a day before wilting, like you see here. I don't know if it's because it's been so hot, but the other bloom, the first bloom that opened, is still intact. And I actually was able to find a name for this orchid. This is Brassell Leila Cattleya Anole Bolt. And really cool story about that. I got this orchid indirectly from Owen's Orchids up in North Carolina, and they emailed me the identification for this plant and told me that Anole is actually their next door neighbor, and her son named the plant after his mom. So that's why this is called Brassell Leila Cattleya Anole Bolt. I just think it's so cool when orchids have backstories, because then you feel more connected to the name and it's not just some foreign language on a plant tag. Another one in spike, which should get very, very large, is my Leila anceps. So you can see right there, that purple bit is the spike forming, and you can see old spikes on the older growths. I got this one as a division from somebody online, and I'm really happy I did because it's super, super pretty, and I only paid shipping and handling for it, which is even better. And right here we have my Brassavola cuculata, which is in spike again. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but right there is a spike forming. Not sure if you guys can even see that though. Maybe. But yeah, so it is forming a spike, and then it has a new growth right there. So this guy should be blooming the rest of the summer until temperatures start to dip. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but, well, of course you do. If you watch my channel, oh my goodness sakes, and I'm about to kill it again. If you watch my channel regularly, you know that I recently killed my Monierara Millennium Magic Witchcraft. Well, I got really, really lucky because at my local Orchid Society auction, they had a Monierara Millennium Magic Witchcraft. And these go for like $50 and $60 online, and I told myself I wasn't going to pay that much for another one because originally, my original plant that I ended up killing, I only spent $20 with shipping. So I said I wasn't going to go over $20, but for this one I decided I would. This one was $23, which isn't, you know, it's $3 over, so I was completely happy paying that amount. And it has 2 spikes! Ah! I'm so excited. I hope they don't blast. This one came all the way from Hawaii, so who knows. But I now have a Monierara Millennium Magic Witchcraft. Finally, it's not dead, it's not dying. So I'm really excited to see this one grow these spikes, and hopefully both of them stay intact, but I'm not sure. Who knows how long they were sitting in the transportation boxes. And the funny thing about it is everyone knows in my Orchid Society that I grow Catasetum. They all know that I just go crazy for Catasetum, and so when this one became available during the auction, everybody just kind of backed away and let me have the plant, which was really, really nice because there were some people there that wanted the plant. Nobody knew what this plant looked like, though. I had to actually tell them because they were interested to know why I wanted this plant so much. And I told them, I said, you know, it's a Millennia Magic, it has black flowers, and as soon as I said that, I pretty much dug my own grave, because then several people started bidding on this orchid. But I only spent $23, so that's a price I can live with instead of the $40 and $50 that these usually go for. Alrighty guys, that is it for my collection update, unless you guys see something and you want me to do a video about it. Tons growing right now. I've got a lot in sheath, not necessarily in spike, they're just in sheath getting ready to spike. But yeah, if you guys want to see anything, you want me to do a video, please let me know down in the comment section of this video and I will do a video about it. Looking kind of messy on my deck because I just did my orchid haul video for you guys from my Orchid Society auction. So yeah, if there's anything else you guys want to see, you can message me on here, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. That's where I post blooming pictures of my plants before I make a video about them. Also subscribe to this channel for more videos like this one in the future, and I will see you guys later.